us, we get them scheduled over there.
Okay.
Sometimes they have to be scheduled over there before they go to the sleep studies, just depending upon what their provider, what the notes look like, if it's going to be covered by their insurance. Medicare's very tricky on a sleep. They pay for sleep studies very well, but they're very tricky on getting a CPAP machine. So we have to make sure the right documentation is done before we get that far.
Yes.
So, and a lot of that is pre-sleep notes, not post-sleep notes. So a lot of times we need to evaluate the notes we get and decide if it needs to be scheduled right away or scheduled over there, just like where we scheduled it.
Okay.
So that's kind of part of it, which is kind of detail oriented, looking through it and see what they're asked. So we have a lot of multitasking, so obviously you kind of hit on that, but how are you about multitasking?
I mean, my usual day, not even limited to any specific medical care specialty, was answering phone, checking people in front of me, being called in the back, taking people to the back.
Right, okay, that's kind of what we do around. Just a little bit of everything. It's chaos around here some days.
Up to 10 different phone lines, so I'm very used to it.
All right, because a lot of times you'll have insurance, because all these insurance companies, we try to call most of them. We don't use a lot of the online systems. We use some, but sleep studies are so precise that you don't get the information you really need from a lot of those online systems, so we try to call them. So we sit on hold for hours. Yeah. So sometimes you got to be, like the other day I had one on hold for so long that music was like kind of just like part of my day. And then I was like, oh my God, the guy's talking to me. I mean, so yeah, you kind of
forget who you're calling.
Yeah, and then if the gentleman up there that I was helping would have said, oh, you're on one of those kind of calls, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am on hold still. Like you have to
I was on hold for 7.5 hours one time.
It is crazy. I did 3 hours on Federal Blue Cross the other day, and I'm like, so I walked around. Anybody else need to ask these guys a question? Because when I get them on here, I'm asking them everything. What else you got? All right. And so, what kind of salary are you requesting?
Well, at my last place, I made anywhere from 22 to 25. But okay. I'm kind of more interested in a dynamic office more than a set hourly wage. Okay. Something that has growth and vibe and is friendly more than just a specific hour.
All right. So let's see what else. And when would you be able to start?
Within a week or two.
Okay.
Whenever. So the sleep clinic is like 9 to 5, and the Denali is Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6.
8 to 6, correct? Yes.
Okay.
So they were 410s. The sleep lab, we don't necessarily. You can take a lunch. We don't necessarily make you take a lunch because it's so busy, and the lunch hour is really our busiest time around here half the time. Mm-hmm. So they aren't required, but on that lab they are required to take a lunch. So a lot of them will come in at like 7:45 to 6:15 just to get their full 10 hours because we are the state. In order to get our 10 hours from the state, we had to require a half-hour lunch. So we have to give you a checkout where you can clock out, walk away from us for a half hour, and come back because it gets kind of crazy over there too. So let's see. And then of course on both sides we don't have a cleaning service, so we are responsible for kind of cleaning them up. Mm-hmm. As far as the sleep lab goes, they do the laundry, things like that, but most of that's done by the tech. So we usually do the end of the laundry. So they change all the beds and we clean up the rooms, wipe them all down, but they change all the beds and throw them in the washer and then leave at 6 a.m. We get in at 9, throw them in the dryer, fold them, put them on the shelf. So we kind of do the end of the laundry, not the first of the laundry for the sleep labs, but otherwise we daily wash down our clinic, just kind of make sure everything's going.
And that's kind of what a massage therapist does. They sanitize, they fold laundry. I mean, even though it wasn't my job, if I have a little downtime, who wants the receptionist to go in the back to do that?
Right, yeah. Sometimes it's just whoever. Sometimes with me, I've done the sleep lab forever, and it was just, I need to get away from my desk. You know what? I can stand here fold laundry and not still be working, but just be done with that for a second. I got to stop thinking about all these people calling me all the time. All right, so I am looking to build what they call a team, so I'm hoping we all can work together. Mm-hmm. So kind of give me your idea of what you think a team player is, and if you've worked on a team or what your experience with team playing is.
Well, I'd start at the bottom. Everyone shows up consistently.
Right.
Everyone, is cross-trained where if, an emergency or, something happens, occasionally, especially if you have kids. I don't, but if you do, there's just going to, be some time where someone might have to do a little bit more than what they usually do, and that's great. I'd say a dynamic office to me is everyone is friendly, easily found. They know how to help, and they're open to being helped. Just being friendly and treating everyone as though they're a patient.
Right. We all work together around here for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any questions for us?
Well, obviously it's business casual from